Hello, it's your boy Kev Bolt, and welcome to the Animates One Piece Chapter 1002 review. Just to be clear, I won't be reviewing every single chapter, but the ones that intrigue myself, or the ones that get you guys excited and you want me to do it, then I'll review those chapters. But yeah, this chapter, it starts off with a great cover page of our boy Rob Lucci, who we haven't seen in a while, but we know he's a part of CP0. But my question to you guys is, how strong do we think Rob Lucci is currently? And is he above or below a first Yonko commander? Comment down below your answer and make sure you subscribe. So now let's get into the chapter. So the chapter starts off with Kaido's breath blast and it hits Kid, or should I say Captain Useless Kid, and his junk leaves his body, which is fine, I guess, because as he states, it is just junk at the end of the day, so he can always get more of it. But what's just kind of funny is the fact that he had been spending several chapters collecting the junk, and now all of a sudden he doesn't care about it. But that's Captain Useless Kid for you, so what else to expect? And then we have Luffy. He actually does a new move in Gear 4. I believe it's a new move. I'm not completely sure, but Kong Rifle. I don't remember seeing it before, so I believe that is a new move, which does actually seem to impact Kaido. I'm not too sure if it has Ryo on it, but as seeing as it did affect Kaido, it must have, because otherwise it wouldn't make too much sense, because Kaido was affected, and we know Ryo is the only known way to effectively hit Kaido. So yeah, Law also has a great moment with saying how he's never dissected a dragon before, and he gets off his gamma knife, which I think we all believe is his strongest move. But it is a bit of surprise because it is a bit of the reason why it's a surprise, because it is a bit early into the fight. But yeah, I guess this kind of now begs the question whether Trafalgar Law actually has another ace up his sleeve, because we all thought that Gamma Knife was the ace in the hole for him. But again, it is early, so let's see, and let's hope that he has got something else to use, because obviously that will elevate how strong he is as well if he does have another move to use. So yeah, that was quite nice. It was a nice little Trafalgar Law moment. Yeah, and that was the only method we know that he has of actually damaging Kaido through Ryo. So yeah. Also, Kaido comments in the chapter that these supernova are able to counter its durability. I'm going to assume that's not including Kid. And he's referring to Luffy and Law, because obviously Luffy's damaged him before with the Ryo, and Law had just used Gamma Knife. So let's just hope he's referring to those two, because Kid with his junk and not stated to have Ryo, I don't understand how he was damaging Kaido. But I'll leave that for you guys to sort that one out. Now moving away from the captains of the supernova, Killer also had an amazing moment in the chapter. Like, what's funny is that the right hands were the highlight of this chapter, to be fair, but Killer's moment was really good with the sonic knife. I'm not too sure how he's able to damage Kaido, but it does seem to be from a sound wave through his skyves, hence the name Sonic Skyves. But he definitely does not have Ryo. But yeah, it did seem to impact Kaido nonetheless, so it was a great moment for Killer. So now it just kind of makes you guys revise the whole Killer versus Zoro now, in terms of we've seen that his skyves have a sonic wave to them, so therefore it impacts you in a different way through sound waves. So how would that impact Zoro if they actually had a full-blown proper fair matchup? But yeah, after Killer's moment, we have a Yonko Big Mom. She came in there with her lightning attack, Indra, taking out Killer. And what's interesting is Luffy actually saves him. If you look at the panel, by attacking Kaido, who was about to finish off Killer. So yeah, that was a nice little touch. And then arguably the highlight of the chapter, we have Roronoa Zoro. He comes in there with his one sword style flying dragon attack. And what's funny is it arguably is arguably a top 10 feat in the series, where in which we have a Yonko Big Mom having to warn a fellow Yonko, Kaido, to dodge the attack. That is a feat. That is top 10. At least. That's a ridiculous feat. So all those people saying Zoro killing Kaido, this is like without a doubt, if round 2 happens, if he doesn't miss and he actually gets him, it's going to do something substantial. It's not to say that he would have necessarily killed Kaido with this attack, but Big Mom acknowledged that it's something that Kaido couldn't endure because it would be very detrimental to his health. So that was quite interesting. Yeah, and he also damages the horn of Onigashima. Kaido highlights that the sword is using, the sword that Zoro is using is not an average sword. It is quite interesting because I guess we were expecting Kaido to recognize Enma, especially how that was one of the 2 swords that have left him a scar, and Kaido's never been scarred before. But to be fair, it has been around 20 years since he has seen it, so it probably takes him some time to recognize it. But he also did recognize that it was the aura of Odin. So yeah. Then after that, Zoro then gets hit by Indra, which is Big Mom's lightning attack. And so does Luffy. But as we've seen, Luffy is unaffected by lightning when he did fight Enel back in the day. So that was a nice little throwback to that moment. And it's interesting to see the themes. I think it's Hindu or Buddhism themes of like the Indra, Ashra. Shout out to the whole Naruto stuff. But yeah, since Big Mom's using Indra, we know that Zoro does have Ashura, so that could be interesting to be represented if Zoro does use it in this fight. But imagine that. Imagine Zoro using Ashura. That means he would have, what, 3 Enmas in that form? So that's ridiculous. And if he did 1 sword style with Enma currently in the damage output he's doing, imagine what 3 Enmas does in that form. So yeah, it is quite interesting. Also, Luffy gets attacked by Kaido in the chapter by the Borrow Breath attack. And instead of just screaming Monkey D. Lucky or screaming plot armor, he shouts guts, which is like, it's a bit meh. I don't know how he was able to withstand it. Hopefully it is later explained that he's using Haki to coat his body, but that just needs to be clear, because if Luffy just withstood it just for the sake of withstanding it, then it is just a bit like plot armor, like what's going on here. But overall, I would say it was a solid chapter. Very solid chapter. I personally wouldn't say it's greater than the previous chapter 1001, simply because of that whole moment with Luffy being compared to the greats such as Shanks, Odin, Whitebeard, Roger, etc. But this chapter was gas, especially for Zoro. This definitely cements Zoro's feats, and it cements Zoro's attack to be a Yonko ending attack, basically, or Yonko threatening attack, let me put it that way. And it also goated Killer as well. It definitely elevated Killer showing, and yet it somehow managed to devalue Kid. Everyone had a decent moment except for Captain Useless Kid, and it was nice because it just showed consistency as well by Golda having 3 chapters on the rooftop. Normally by now with Oda we would have switched over to a whole different scene. And yeah, off the back of that, what do you guys think is going to happen next chapter? Do you guys think we're going to stay on the rooftop, or do you think we're going to go to the other Straw Hats fights? Especially, and the one I'm intrigued with is the Jinbei and Who's Who scene that they need to kind of unfold about how they know each other and stuff. But yeah, again, solid chapter. I'd give this like an 8.5, 8. So yeah, pretty much no flaws. But yeah, don't forget to answer the Rob Lucci question, which is at the beginning of this video, in the comment section, as well as your overall thoughts on the chapter. Make sure you subscribe as well, and check out the Animates podcast if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.